It gets afflicted by the phenomenon of blowing hot and blowing cold. Whenever it's convenient, she says this should be done. When it's inconvenient, she says that otherwise. Now, simple question. As Arnab said, the victim has been placed under suspension. Now, for instance, what happened at the Wali ceiling? Suryavanshi, the MLA Thakur, gave him abuses in the names of mother and sister, which obscene and dirty abuses we can't speak here. And he made that report to his superiors, and the superiors kept quiet about it. Why is not the inquiry committee recommending that the chief of the police should be placed under suspension? Because when Suryavanshi in uniform, they said, your mother and sister, this and that. What will happen? In fact,
I am saying here today, I am challenging. One minute. Since you're following up on that, I would say to Shaina NC and to Rahul Narvekar that you can file a PIL and ask the court to direct the speaker to hand over the CCTV recordings to the court, which should then monitor the investigation, reopens the investigation, right or wrong. Is that right?
Which will happen in the
But you see, they'll immediately oppose it.
I respect Suryavanshi. They abused him in the name of mother and sister, yet he maintained his discretion. He didn't lose his temper. Had it been any other cop, he would have brought the MLA out of the car and dragged him down because that was his right to self-defense.
Absolutely.
A person who maintained discretion, he had
reopen the investigation, Rahul Narvekar. Reopen it.
Such things.
Reopen it. Reopen it.
Somebody said, MLA Thakur, what words he spoke?
Reopen it. Do you support the reopening of the investigation? Simple.
If somebody abuses you in the name of
1 minute. Do you both support the reopening of the investigation?
Can I talk?
No, my question. Do you support the reopening of the investigation?
It has to be because it has not been investigated. 28 CCTV cameras.
Okay,
they say the image is not clear.
We've heard you loud and clear. We've heard you loud and clear. Let me respond.
Button can be linked to other cameras.
She's saying something.
And not just that, the two media channels who created a hue and cry on it, the editors of both the channels
privilege motion.
Privilege notices. The entire press club had to take up this issue. They shot off a letter to the speaker. We shot off a letter to the speaker, and only then the speaker realized that the editor should not be bothered. Otherwise, if you tend to speak up something,
should I give all of y'all a solution to this problem?
Reopen the investigation.
Can I give all of y'all a solution to this problem?
Reopen the investigation.
I will give you a solution.
The solution to this.
Will you join me, Mr. Narvekar?
At least hear me out.
I am filing a PIL. Will you join me,
I will certainly join you and provide you all assistance in getting out the truth. If I can be of any help, I'll be more than happy to help you with it. Now, let me give you a solution to this entire problem. Speaker has conducted an inquiry. He's ruled what he had to. It's not all over. There is a FIR file. There's a criminal investigation under process. Let's get together, provide as much assistance as we can to the matter, and see that justice is done.
In the meantime, the poor guy remains suspended, you mean to say?
Madam, this is an inquiry going on. Can you conclusively? Why are you being a judge? Why are you being a judge?
She's a common citizen. She's asking a question. She's asking a question. She's asking a question.
I'll answer your question.
Yes, please.
If he has been suspended, he has been suspended as per the rules. There are several officers who are under suspension.
I have a question.
Do you want to take back every suspension? Are you going to decide the rules and regulations? Are you going to decide the law?
Why are you getting worked up? Why are you getting worked up?
Because you're not letting me talk. That's why I'm getting worked up.
I'll tell you.
Let me complete.
I'm sorry.
Madam, there's a system that we need to follow. Otherwise, we'll have a lawless society.
Really?
If the law provides for suspension, he needs to be suspended.
Mr. Narvekar, one minute, Mr. Narvekar,
and then if he comes out clean, he will be reinstated in service. You or me or Shaina or Mr. VVIPs cannot stop that.
Mr. Narvekar, are you in any doubt? By the way, let others also come. Are you in any doubt that in a country where 5 MLAs get a policeman into an assembly, thrash him black and blue, send him to hospital? Allow me to. I know it's uncomfortable fact. I'll keep repeating.
Looks like Arnab was
thrash him black and blue. Thrash him black and blue. I am not Mr.
Looks like
have beaten them up.
Looks like Mr. Arnab Goswami was there along with those MLAs watching everything live. Unfortunately, none of us have had the chance of having a look at the individual. But looks like Mr. Arnab Goswami is sitting right there watching everything.
Fine. So I'll tell you one thing. I have said this last week that I am not in the business And in my entire journalistic career, I will not be in the business of asking questions that make politicians happy. Since you have challenged me on national television, I will now ask you 2 questions and answer them straightforward.
Yes, please.
Is it true or not that a policeman who came to the assembly to collect the CCTV footage was suspended because he did not have a pass? Yes or no?
I am not aware about it.
Is it
because I don't look into the affairs of the assembly.
Obfuscation.
Number also.
Okay. Second question. Is it true or not that there have been concentrated attempts to suppress the evidence by denying the CCTV footage to the police? Yes or no?
The CCTV footage should come out in the open. It should be shown on TV so that the nation can see it at large, and so that every citizen has the right to know what's happening. What's wrong in showing that?
I am asking you to.
I demand on your channel, I demand before the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, I demand to the Speaker of the Assembly that they must show these visuals to the people at large. It is their right to know what's happening in the Assembly.
So the question is, don't get Mr. Narvekar, Mr. Calm down. You didn't have the
proceedings of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha shown on TV. Why can't we have the proceedings in the Assembly or this matter particularly displayed on TV? What's wrong with that?
So I would now, if you don't interrupt, please, I would like to say something. You see, as they say, there's sometimes a slip between the cup and the lip. And in this case, what has happened is there is not a slip, there's a kilometer-wide gap. Because the crime branch forwarded at least 3 applications to the Assembly Secretariat seeking the footage, but there hasn't been any action on it. 1 minute. The decision on giving the footage rests with the Speaker. The CCTV footage is currently in the property of the Assembly. Don't have anything to hide, release it.
Absolutely.
We'll show it on Times Now. People of this country want to see how policemen are beaten in the Assembly.
So
the second is, do you support China? You have realized today that people of this country won't accept this sham. So I have 2 questions. One, will you support a reopening of this investigation?
Why not? Because there's nothing to hide.
The BJP has demanded the reopening of the investigation. The BJP demands on television tonight the reopening of the investigation.
But may I add to that?
The BJP demands the reopening of the investigation. Why a but?
If our MLA is not guilty, will you give a public apology to the country?
Mr. Shaina, Miss Shaina
NC, because I know the facts of
Miss Shaina NC, you see, this is not going to work. I am saying reopen the investigation.
That's exactly why I'm saying yes. Absolutely, do whatever you can do to make sure that
even if the investigation is reopened, it's going to be tried by the same MLAs, and we'll again come to the same conclusion.
Why should it be tried by the same MLAs?
Why don't you understand? That's a constitutional provision.
If somebody's handwriting is to be examined,
the Assembly has to be investigated by the
let's suppose the DNA sample is to be done. Will MLA only analyze the DNA sample, or will it go to a scientist? And you will say that scientists can't do
Mr. YP saying, do you know that the FIR and the police was already investigating this matter?
Of the MLA's
is anyone saying
they have to test the DNA? Will the MLAs themselves test the DNA? Saying that a scientist can't test the DNA because he's not a member of the legislative assembly?
Now my second question is this, that in this country, 2 days back, a 2-year-old child has been run over by a politician's son. Right? As of now, there's a concerted attempt to do a cover-up. Will the Bharatiya Janata Party, the Shiva Sena, the MNS, Congress, BJP, NCP all get together tomorrow? Have a procession, a march, a meeting, a press conference to demand that the cover-up which is on, unless you think that the life of a 2-year-old girl, if she's not a VIP's daughter, doesn't mean anything or is worth anything, why don't you show me the same all-party unity that you did in this cover-up in trying to stop the cover-up in Aurangabad? Shaina, and
may I answer?
Will you show me the unity?
Absolutely. There's no question. And this is not just paying lip service.
Yeah.
Clearly, this 17-year-old cannot, let me rather rephrase it. Clearly, this 17-year-old brat cannot be protected by his father, irrespective of what kind of political pressure.
So you have
the
a press
BJP
conference
has already started. We have already approached the Home Minister today. You will know. And Arnab, please give it to us when we act on moral high ground. We don't just say it just to impress public. We want to make sure that there is a situation where everyone has faith in governance, where everyone has faith in the system, and especially in a case like this where you have a 2-year-old girl who has died for no fault of hers, and there you have a father who's trying to protect his son and implicate a driver.
You know, all I'm saying here today is simply this. You may be politicians, but you don't own the police. You don't own this country.
None of us claim
you don't,
to.
No politician.
Please don't paint everyone with the same
So the
brush.
thing is that here is an opportunity that you can come together and demand justice for that 2-year-old.
I think it's a good
I'm sure that you will do that.
And I think we should do it.
And I think everybody should come together and demand, because that cannot be allowed to happen. And somewhere, Anupam Kher, and I just want to come. Why are people hurt today at the way that woman? I'll play the pictures again. People are hurt at the way that woman, that old woman, was beaten by the policeman.
Yeah.
People are actually hurt in the way that this woman was beaten. She can be anybody's mother, aunt, sister, and then
people are not only hurt; they are frightened.
They're frightened. Yeah,
they're frightened. Hurt is we have gone beyond a situation of being hurt.
Yeah.
And if
people are frightened. People are frightened to do anything.
Yeah, and if you notice,
you know why people don't sympathize with people on the streets?
Yeah.
Because there's a fear of going to the authorities.
Yeah,
they will get trapped into the whole situation.
Yeah, that's true.
So the whole situation is tragic, and we were talking about truth. Truth has no version. Truth has only one version.
Well said.
What we see on television, whether it's on CCTV or whether it is captured by a TV camera, is the truth. Now, however different political parties come up with their own versions, that does not change the truth.
Yeah.
We have to swallow what has been told to us. But truth has only one version. So we have gone through the situation of being hurt. We are in the situation of being frightened.
That's true.
We cannot. What has happened to the Nirbhaya case? The whole country came together. We are forgetting things.
I think everyone empathizes with that.
Unless it's happening in my family, we are thinking, okay, it's not happening to me.
Yeah.
But what we apply to our homes, if we apply to our nation, there is a hope of change in this country. Otherwise, we are going to.
I don't
want to say.
I empathize that. That's an excellent note to end on. I support that. I endorse that. All of us endorse that. We hope the change will happen. I will hope for accountability. We will hope for reopening of the case, and we hope there will be justice to the 2-year-old girl who died under the wheels of a luxury car run by a politician's son. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me on debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight.